Rainbow's End was established in 2011 to fill a need that I saw personally when family and friends went to treatment. The goal here is to treat people as a whole person with respect.
Addiction for a long time was postulated that it was a choice or a moral failing, but we know that this isn't the case. People lose the power of choice. The difference between abuse and dependency really is that people that abuse alcohol or drugs often can stop. People that have a dependency, they can't stop.
Statistics show drug abuse is on the rise in the U.S. The results of addiction can be devastating for addicts as well as those who love them. Often, though, people are resistant to admitting they might have a problem for fear of the stigma attached to addiction. Because of the laws and judicial system which essentially criminalize addiction, many addicts are left not just struggling to recover, but also with the legal ramifications and a criminal record.
67% of Americans believe now that addiction is a disease and not to be punished. So the tide's turning. Once they've made the choice to start using drugs, they can't stop on their own. They can't stop without help. Punishing them, incarcerating them is a very minor part of what can help them get off drugs. It will clean them up, it will detox them in a very uncomfortable way usually, but it doesn't stop the desire, the craving, and in fact it heightens it because they're looking for something to entertain themselves or to give themselves a high in prison. If you're criminalizing use, you're criminalizing people who are ill. So it's not really a deterrent to someone who's an addict.
Finding a way to get past the perceptions and judgments associated with addiction is the first step to finding help. For many, the idea of an institutional setting is confining and frightening. Rainbow's End Recovery Center offers an environment that is comfortable and inviting, with structure and activities designed to treat the whole person, allowing people already dealing with difficult situations to relax and open themselves to treatment and begin their recovery.
I think in a natural, home-like setting, there's a greater opportunity to treat the whole person, provide them the nutrition, the exercise, the spiritual growth, whatever it is they're seeking to address their underlying issues and their addiction. If someone's coming from a large city or a very high-stress, intense situation, and are move from that and into a more natural setting, it lets them relax, calm their inner selves, makes them more receptive to whatever can be taught in a treatment center. You're not going to be able to put them in a room and show them movies or talk at them all day and expect growth. You need the interaction both with the outside world and with their internal world and with other people to help them recover.
In what have been called the rat park studies, researchers gave rats in isolation a choice between plain water and water mixed with narcotics. The rats in those cages would choose the narcotics to the point of addiction. They found that when addicted rats were introduced into a stimulating and enjoyable environment with plenty of activities and socialization, they would choose not to continue to ingest narcotics, suggesting that successful treatment of addiction requires changes in many facets of life. Experts say simply being in a controlled environment without access to drugs or alcohol does not solve the problems that lead to addiction, and often there are both physical and psychological issues resulting from the addiction. Because drug and alcohol abuse affects the body and the mind, more than simple abstinence is required for successful treatment.
The activities are limitless, and it depends on the time of year. A lot of what our focus is just to help people get back into learning how to enjoy living, having some fun. When you do it that way and you work with people that way, it's like you're living life, and all of a sudden it's like an aha moment. Oh my God, look how I'm acting, look what I'm doing.
It begins with acceptance, accepting them as they are. I like to use the approach of trying to bring them into the present moment as much as possible. I think it also goes back to what I see as a fundamental part of being a counselor is love and respect, and showing each individual that love and respect.
When I first came here, I had just come out of another treatment center that didn't work out very well at all. And it was a really confusing time, and the help and care, friendship and warmth that I felt pretty instantly here really helped me get through that period, and then I was able to recenter myself and redefine some purposes in life, what was important, where I'd gotten lost. It gave me a spot to restart my life. They call it Rainbow's End, but it was really Rainbow's beginning for me.
Rainbow's End is licensed by the state of Idaho under the Department of Health and Welfare and has recently been accredited by the Joint Commission. Its medical director is an addictionologist, full MD. The lead counselor is a psychologist with a licensed professional counselor, ACADC. And the other two counselors have CADCs, and then our nurse specialist also has a degree in health management and administration.
The holistic approach at Rainbow's End provides an opportunity for those struggling with addiction to recover in mind, body, and spirit.
This isn't a cure. People coming here is not the cure. This is where they can build a foundation so that when they do leave here, they're not leaving with nothing. They're leaving with all the tools they need to have a better, more abundant, and happier life.
I was definitely a different person 28 days later, 6 months later, and now almost 3 years later.
It isn't a choice. Addiction is definitely not a choice, and it's not a moral failing. It's not a defect of character.
The mission here is just really to help people get their life back.
Here, you have a really good first-time shot of living a sober, addiction-free life.
That's what we work towards with every single client we see. It doesn't matter if you're 20 or 70. We've had the full range of age, full range of addictions. They come in here, they're a brand new friend, and we treat them as family.
For more information, visit rainbowsendrecoverycenter.com or call the number on your screen.